Well, I think I'm not going to go into details at this point on where the red lines are. What I can say is that, as I've stated many times, it is a priority for the Danish presidency to get this file moving. It is so for several reasons. First of all, of course, is the mere fact that this regulation represents an ability to actually tackle a real problem, a rising problem in the real world. I think Save the Children assess that each and every second at least 2 pictures or videos are being shared on online platforms, encrypted platforms, of children being sexually abused, of children being raped. And then second of all, why the Danish presidency find it's so important to move this file forward is that by April 2026, April next year, the current temporary regulation will expire, and then there will be no regulation where platforms even voluntarily can make the scanning themselves as they do today.
Do you have a message for those platforms? What do you propose doing to them? What policy do you propose?
Well, I think it's obvious that given the fact that there has been created a narrative, the same exact narrative across the 27-member bloc, I think it would be very naive not to assess that there are some huge interest at stake here. Whether those interests are interests of commercial reasons, or those interests are acting in the sense to try to polarize the debate also on this file. I'm not going to be the judge at this moment over, but there are huge interests at stake. What we would prefer is that all tech platforms where users can share pictures and files would engage themselves and try to scan and stop harmful spreading and sharing of children being sexually abused. And that unfortunately is not the case today, and that was the pretext for the Commission to actually propose the CSAM regulation.
In Finland we think that we need to raise the capacities of drones and anti-drones systems, and it's very, very highly important for the Finland and for the eastern flank, as we say, where is Baltics and Poland too, because we see that the Russian threat is existential, and that's why we need to be ready for everything from the air, from the land, and from the sea. And the second thing, I think that we are discussing today about the returns. It's only about 20% that we can return from EU, from those who have a decision to leave. And we have to do better, and we have to be more effective with the returns in Europe.
Minister, one question in English. The deal with Uganda, the return center. Could you explain why this is the right thing for you right now?
So I think one of the problems that we're seeing in Europe is that people that have been declined asylum, that have no right to be in Europe, are not cooperating on their return to their home countries. And that means they're here illegally, and they will do anything they can in order to postpone the expellions of them to their home countries. So Uganda is going to be a return hub where we can send these people from the region of Uganda back to Uganda in order for them to be able to return to their home countries from Uganda. And the signal that we're giving is that once you've been declined asylum in the EU, you really have to leave the EU. Mm-hmm. And from there, we will assist you in going back to your home country, but at least it's clear that you have no place in the EU. And I think that's a clear signal to all asylum seekers, mm-hmm. that you either get granted or you get declined, and when you get declined, you have to leave.
Well, I think that especially for Belgium, since we have a disproportionate burden on our system, namely because of second migration, that it's important to avoid that countries who have a lot of load because of the second migration, that they would become the victims, so to say, of this mutual recognition. So we have to see that it doesn't have perverse effects.
So it needs to be like not mandatory. Is that what you're saying?
For us, in the first place, it shouldn't be mandatory, and then we have to see along the road. But to start, also with France and Germany, also I think that the mandatory effect of it would put too big of a burden on countries with a lot of second migration.
Can you explain that a little bit? Is it because you would have the burden of actually deporting and also the costs of actually deporting?
Indeed. So it's easy to give an obligation to leave the territory, but then if people move towards another country, and since Belgium has a lot of second migration, a lot of people come then to Belgium, and then we would have the obligation to do the effective returns. So that's why for us it's important to avoid perverse effects.